Ashley Landis, Associated Press. Following 15 minutes of action on the night the NBA returned from its hiatus, Zion Williamson is at a whopping 580 on the season. 11 members of the New Orleans Pelicans have logged more time on the floor. And yet, their season is all about the man who wore "peace" on the back of his jersey Thursday night. In those 580 minutes Zion has played, New Orleans is plus 104, he was actually a minus 16 in the 106-104 loss to the Utah Jazz. In the 2,570 minutes Zion has not played, the Pelicans are minus 159. In stark contrast to the important message he chose to display above his number, Zion's game is anything but peaceful. He plays with a force few players across the history of the league could generate, and the attention he commands opens things up for his teammates. That makes a minutes restriction in the 8-game lead-up to the postseason much more than an inconvenience. Following his departure from the bubble, which put Zion in quarantine protocol up until Wednesday, ESPN's Malika tweeted shortly before tip-off that the 20-year-old rookie would play in short bursts during the reopener. Following the loss, Pelicans head coach Alvin Gentry revealed there was more to it than that. "We wish we could have played Zion down the stretch," Gentry said, per ESPN's Andrew Lopez. "But he had used the minutes that had been given to us. That's just the way it is. We weren't going to stick him back out there. Our medical team said we played for us to play him." That explanation does little more than lead to additional questions. Is there an injury we don't know about? Is this just a conditioning problem? Was the team not in Zion's digital ear about conditioning throughout the hiatus? How or why did the time off lead to steps back on his timeline? Perhaps most important, why not save a few of those 15 minutes for the end of the game? If there's a hard and fast rule limiting Zion to 15 minutes, New Orleans coaching staff has to spread that out to include the potential for crunch time. If the Pelicans want to make the playoffs, every one of these games is immensely important. They need to be in 9th place at worst, and within 4 games of the 8th seed to force the play-in situation. The 4 games part of that equation isn't a huge deal. Even after Thursday's loss, they're only 4 back of the Memphis Grizzlies with the league's easiest remaining schedule. The problem is there are now 2 teams between New Orleans and Memphis, one of which has Damian Lillard and a finally healthy frontcourt. Oh, and the San Antonio Spurs now have 1 fewer loss. The battle for 9th will go down to the wire, much like Thursday night's game. The Pelicans needed Zion then, and they'll need him moving forward. Ashley Landis, Associated Press. New Orleans may have been outscored in the minutes he played against Utah, but he's been the team's most impactful player this season. He has to be out there in the big moments.